So the boys and I are hitting the road. We are heading to Lavender Blue Lavender Farm to do some harvesting this morning, and I thought I would take you guys along for the journey. So we have arrived at Lavender Blue, which is in Seagrave, Ontario. So for any of my friends who live in Ontario or anywhere near Seagrave, this area has become quite a tourist hotspot with meaderies, cider places, as well as, of course, Mila's beautiful lavender farm. I'll get my husband to do some shots. So I'm here to harvest fresh lavender. I do have a video, I'm going to link it, and it's all about some of the areas of consideration when you start to combine herbs. And one of the things that I'm really cognizant of is astringency. Lavender itself is a highly astringent plant, and when we dry it, it becomes more astringent. So my preference is whenever I can make tincture from fresh lavender, I always do so. Now, because of the size of our property and the amount of plants that we would like to be able to grow, we don't have the space to accommodate this much lavender. And this is just one section. We'll make sure we'll take some other footage and videos for you guys so you can see what Mila has done here, because it is an absolutely beautiful place to come and visit. And I know she has lots of events and everything as well. So I'm gonna get to harvesting. I'm sure my husband will take some footage of that too while I'm working. And then we'll share some other areas of property in a little bit. So I'm just using scissors to harvest the lavender. And when I make tincture, I want a mixture of both leaf and flower. And so I'm cutting right down to the bottom here. And I'll discard this stalk when I'm making tincture because it's fairly inert and quite fibrous. So I don't really want this in medicine. However, I do want this flowering top and at least a few of the leaves going forward. I'm also pretty sure I've got a video. I've been doing this for so long now. Sometimes I forget what videos I've created, but I'm certain I have one on lavender and its medicinal properties. So I'll make sure I'll link that too. So I'm just gonna keep harvesting here. Mila's got me set up in a nice little area. We can hear the bees buzzing and the roosters crowing. It's kind of like, it's magical, isn't it? It's pretty cool. So one of the things I love about visiting this lavender farm is this entire ecosystem that they've worked really hard to create. And I know they keep bees on the property in order to, obviously they're growing fields and fields of pollinator plants and attracting all of these beautiful honeybees here. And it's just, the energy of it is just so magical as you're carefully harvesting the plants and watching the bees do their work as well. It really just makes you feel like you're a part of this entire amazing ecosystem. Like I said about the ecosystem, Mila's got a little mini farm going on here. I didn't know she had goats. That's always my weakness, and ducks, and of course I can hear the chickens. I'm guessing they're in the barn. Oh, there they are, letting you know, hey, I'm a chicken. So all over the property there are fun activities that you can do as well. We didn't realize this when we came in, but you can see the number 4 there. So when you walk in, you can get a brochure. And this must be the Tic Tac Toe station. So my son and husband are playing Stars and Shells, the Lavender Blue version of Tic Tac Toe. And this is another area of the farm. Mila had me harvesting back in behind over there, but you're able to see just how beautiful it is here. Beautiful opportunities for photos. I imagine she does wedding photography here as well. Just a stunning place to visit. So when you arrive at Lavender Blue, you can pop in, there's a blue building. And of course this is her storefront where she's got lots of local wares, including things that she's made with lavender, photography, all kinds of things. But this is also where you would pick up her little handy dandy book. And I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what she's done here, because it's more than just a lavender farm. She's really trying to educate people, and I thought this was kind of. So you get your book, and it has kind of like an introductory message, Mila introducing herself, but then this is where you have all the different numbers and you follow along on a self-guided tour, and she's provided you with all the information about how they're building ecosystems, how they have what's called insect hotels. My husband and son are playing over at Rocks Rock, where she talks about how they place rocks on the property to attract other types of animals, including things like snakes and lizards. So it's really, really neat, and you can pick up one of these when you come into Lavender Blue. And this will help to guide you through the beautiful space she's created here. So the lavender is finely processed. It took my husband and I about an hour to strip all those leaves and flowers off the stems. The stems you don't really want when you're making medicine because they're fairly inert in terms of chemical constituents. The main job of a stem for a plant is to hold its leaves up to the light so it can get light, right? It doesn't have a lot of medicine in it. So we did all of that, and then I was able to I did 2 500 milliliter jars of tincture for clinic. I have this really awesome jar. I chopped up a bunch of the stems. I have flowers, and then I got some chamomile from the garden, and this is infused in witch hazel for my toner. So if you've ever used Dewdrop's toner before, you're seeing in action how it gets made. So that's just gonna sit infusing in witch hazel. And then I have another 1 liter jar in apricot kernel oil. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna make with this yet. There's so many amazing options, probably a whipped body butter and maybe a body oil as well. So I hope you enjoyed our little trip to Mila's lavender farm. Again, that's Lavender Blue in Seagrave, Ontario. So if you're ever in the area, I highly recommend a visit.